Welcome back to Big Body, Bigger Mouth, the show that will make you laugh, cry, and question me, your host, question whether or not me, your host, should be allowed on the internet. Make sure you like this video and share it and subscribe to 216 Creator Studios. Make sure you click the live tab to see my new show and everyone else's show that does it as well on the live tab. I'm kind of all over the place today.
That's okay.
We're all over the place today. So hello everybody. I know, try not to be in the comments saying how sexy I am. I'm very aware. Got a new little denim shirt, have my tattoos out. Feeling spicy today.
Looking good.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, today we're just kind of winging it. I have this little segment we're gonna do called What's a Slay and What I Hate, where I just talk about things that I love and things that I absolutely can't stand. So yeah. But first, we're going to do some housekeeping. I was gone for a little bit. You know, life was busy. But we're back, so this will be up on Monday at 5, and then we'll wait a week, and then we'll have another new episode. We're having a guest on soon, so that will be awesome. One of my best friends is going to come on. And if you want to be a guest on the show, make sure you comment. You can DM me on my Instagram, kel.b2002. And we can talk about it. Just tell me what you want to talk about, and I'll see if I'm like, that's awesome, or if I'm like, ew, no. we'll decide. But yeah, so some housekeeping. I fell down the stairs. Thought I would bring that up on here because that's why I wasn't here. I couldn't sit in a chair for more than
that took you a while to heal, too.
It really was. So here's a story, everybody. So I was with the guy that I had this little itsy bitsy crush on. I hope he doesn't watch this. And he comes over, spent the night, and then we went to go get breakfast in the morning. So we're walking down the stairs, and there was like, I don't know if it was like mud or like a sludge from someone's garbage. Because the way that my apartment works is there's like wooden stairs that go up it. And then it's like my apartment and then the apartment next to us. So like it's like, it's not just our traffic going down the stairs. So, and they have like lots of little kids. And he walks down first and he goes, hey, there's something like kind of sticky or like slippery on the stairs. Like, be careful. And I go, okay. And I'm wearing my worn down, like beat to shit Crocs. Like, you know how like Crocs have like the like really prominent squares on the bottom for gripping? Mine literally looked like you shaved them. Like, they're so old that it literally is like a ballet slipper. Like, it's terrible. So I hit the mud, fling, fall straight on my ass and go poof, 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 down 6 fucking stairs. And I'm laying there, like, literally beached whale on the stair, like, back flopped out. And he turns around, he's like, oh my God, are you okay? And I was like, yep. I get up. My ass was bruised. My ass swelled and was bruised, and I could not sit or like do anything besides lay down for like 5 days. And then I had to go to work, and I work with like it. For those that don't know, in my 9 to 5 is childcare, so I was on the ground a lot because I was in the baby room because you have to like sit on the ground and play with them. So I'm like sitting on the ground. I'd get up and I would just feel this like muscle like stretch, and I was like, "This is the end of me." This is the end of it.
You knew right away it was bad.
Oh, I knew it was bad when I got up. Because, but luckily I didn't break anything. Because if I would have broke it, I would have been like, not mobile. And then it's like, what would we have done? Like, he's sitting there, and then the ambulance comes, and they're like scooping me up. Like, oh my God. Honestly, just leave me there to die. Like, leave me there to just flat out die if that happens. But, yeah, what else is going on? Oh, it's almost St. Patrick's Day. And you know what that means? I'm a little Irish. Who wants to kiss me? I'm kidding. Nobody answered that in the comments. But basically, why I bring up St. Patrick's Day is if you're around McHenry, Illinois, there's this thing called Shamrocks the Fox. And you know what it really is? People getting drunk in the street and puking. And it's honestly a really fun time. I went last year, and my friends and I got there at like noon, and I wasn't 21 yet. but the bar will let you in, like, if you're a customer, but, like, you just, like, don't get the 21 wristband. So I'm walking down the street, like, walking down Green Street, and all of a sudden I just see, like, piles of puke.
Oh boy.
And people are literally, like, flat out falling on the ground, like, hitting their faces. And I'm like, it's 11. And if it's one thing that McHenry, Illinois does, it's drink.
It's like Mardi Gras almost.
It literally is like the ghetto Mardi Gras. Like, it literally is. And so, like, the hillbilly ghetto Mardi Gras is Shamrocks to Fox McHenry. And so I literally saw this woman, like, fall down and just, like in
Airplane.
the road.
Yep.
And I'm like, dude. So I get in there, and my friend's like, I don't endorse underage drinking, but I was underage drinking. And they had, like, these, like, little, like, Jello shots. And then my friend was, like, out of town, and I hadn't seen him in a while. And he was like, oh, like, let me get you a Jello shot. I was like, okay. So I'm like, and then we just, like, kept doing them. And then once I know it's, like, 1:30, I'm wasted.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I looked at my friend, I'm like, did you drive here? She's like, no. She's like, did you? I'm like, no, my mom dropped me off. And we're like, how the fuck are we getting home?
Oh boy.
Like, so we're, like, in the tent drinking the green beer. I don't know what beer that is, but it's the best beer alive. Like, besides, like, pear beer. I think it's just Miller. But for some reason, when they dye it green, it tastes so much
It's
better.
like leprechaun semen.
It's, yeah, whatever leprechaun it is, I'm drinking down. I don't even care. It's so good. And my friend is always like, it's just fucking Miller. I'm like, it's not Miller. It's the green beer. So we're, like, trash. Okay. We had, like, fireball shots. We had, like, 5 Jello shots. We had, like, 2, 3 green beers. And like I said, it's like 1:30 p.m. And my mom's like, she's already out of town. She's, like, going to get my stepdad. So I'm like, how the fuck are we getting home? So I'm like, you call your mom? And she's like, yeah. She calls her mom, and then we pick up. We're like, Julie! And she's like, get in the car. And then she dropped us off, and I get home, and I'm like, oh, God, why do I have a headache? And I'm like, well, I know why. But no. Yeah, seriously, this weekend I better see everybody out at Shamrocks the Fox. We're getting nasty at Shamrocks the Fox. But it's, like, sucks because it's, like, so early in the morning that it's like, if you're not a day drinker, and I'm not really a drinker.
No.
Like, back in the day, I was, like, a smoker. Yeah, like, I always, like, I would prefer to smoke weed than I would to drink.
Yep.
And so I just can't really stomach it. Like, it doesn't make me sick. I just am, like, a lightweight, which is, like, hard to believe. I don't know. But, like, 2 drinks, I'm drunk.
So when you go to these things now, is it more just for the atmosphere?
I think, yeah, it's just, like, kind of just have fun with my friends.
Yeah.
Like, because it sucks because my friend group, shout out you losers, because all they do is drink. Like, I feel like that's all we do. Like, because we're all just, like, 21, 22, 23.
Sure.
Like, so I feel like all the time when we're hanging out, it's not, like, house parties anymore.
Right.
You know when you were, like, 16 and someone had, like, a basement and their parents were out of town?
Are gone.
Yeah, and then you were just like, house party. Like, now it's just like, oh, meet at DC Cobb's.
Yeah.
And it's like, meet at the rooftop at 8. And
it's
just like,
warm up drinks before you go.
Right? Yeah, right. Because their drinks are like $12 for, like, are you kidding? I'm, like, sneaking in tequila shots, like, in my bag. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I just hate that, like, this stigma. Here's one of the things I hate that isn't a sleigh. When you turn 21, it's literally like, have you seen that movie Project X?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so basically the premise of the movie is, like, it's this kid who, like, his parents go out of town and his friends, like, let's have a party. This party is, like, there's, like, 10,000 people at the house. There's, like, a helicopter. There's, like, this, like, little person gets, like, stuck in, like, an oven. Like, it's, like, it gets crazy. So my friends and I always joke that, like, for my birthday, we're gonna, like, Project X it. But it's, like, when you're 21, it's like that movie. It's, like, you think that, like, life is gonna be this, like, party on party on party. And I'm sorry, I'm not built for it. Because I feel like I partied too early. I wasn't, like, one of those 14-year-old girls going to, like, college parties. Yeah. But I had older friends in high school when I first started. So I did go to, like, some older parties. But I feel like when I was, like, 18, 19, like, during, like, COVID, which is not a good time to be a partier, I feel like that's when I, like, I was like drinking all the time and like smoking all the time and like, let's go here, let's go do, like, let's go here, there, wherever, just to, like, get drunk and have fun. And it's like, now that I'm like 21, I'm like, if I'm not in bed naked eating hot Cheetos on a Friday night, I fucked up. Like, I tell my friends when I leave, I literally say, I'm going home to eat hot Cheetos naked in my bed, and I'm going to bed. Like,
I'm marking that down on my bucket list, actually, right now.
You have to. It's like, but then you need like a cold glass of milk.
Yeah.
Because it's too spicy.
Just don't touch anywhere after the hot Cheetos and rub your eyes, because that could be a problem.
You know what's funny? Like, my mom just bought me new sheets because I get self-tan on them. I just get like hot Cheetos, like everything on these sheets. And so she was like, oh, I'll get you these like purple ones. And I'm like, oh, cute. Like my duvet or whatever is green. So I open the package and it's like fucking white. And I'm like, and I call her and I go, they sent us the wrong one. She's like, no. She's like, you wanted the coconut milk ones, right?
Oh,
and I'm like, those things are ripped to shreds already with self-tan just everywhere on them. And it's like, it just looks terrible. And then when I have people over, they think I'm like shitting my bed.
Right. Like, how many people did you murder in this bed?
Right. And I'm like, no one. It's just my Tropic Tan, like fucking, like spray. Actually, I have a funny story for the people that involves a shit stain in a hotel room.
Nice. So, let's hear it.
Basically, I was talking to this guy. I don't remember like really, I mean, I don't really say their names most of the time, but I don't really remember his name fully. I think it was something with a C, but he and I had matched on like Tinder, Hinge, one of those. And he was older than me at the time. I think I was 19. I think he was like 24. And he had this like really nice truck, which like, I don't give a fuck about your truck. I'm not a car girl. I don't care. If you get to point A to point B, you come see me. I don't care what, if you're on a horse buggy and carriage. Right. I don't care.
It's a donkey pulling a sled.
Right. It's like, I don't care if you're riding a burro to my house. I don't care if you're on foot, which this guy used to come hook up with me and would walk like 10 miles to get to where I was at.
Oh my God.
And that is dedication.
Yeah, it is.
That is dedication. So this guy, whatever, he was like texting me and he was like, oh, I'm going to like get an Uber. He gets us a hotel room, right? And it's like a nice hotel. It's not like the Super 8 motel where you're like, there's a meth lab next door and I'm getting killed tonight. Like, it was like a continental breakfast, hot tub, pool. It was like the Ritz-Carlton of Illinois.
Oh.
And so, not really. It was like a Hampton Inn, but whatever.
Mid spend. Not low spend, not high spend. Mid spend.
Right, mid spend. Yeah. So he gets the hotel room and he tells me, oh, like, I'm gonna take an Uber there. And I'm like, why wouldn't you drive? And he's like, well, I've been drinking all day. And I go, okay. And I'm like, weren't you at work? He goes, yeah. And I'm like, okay.
Is he a beer tester? Is he an alcohol tester?
Right.
What is it, 1950, where you're having a drink?
Right, and it's lunch? Not even like he wasn't even like blue collar where it was like you finish the job site, you have like a beer. It wasn't like that. It was like he owned and like operated a restaurant.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's about right.
So I'm like, what the fuck do you mean you're drunk? Yeah. And so he's like, well, I'm a little tipsy. And I'm like, you've been drinking all day and you're a little tipsy? I'm sending you to AA. Like, you have a problem. And so...
Restaurant industry.
Right. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And he's like, well, my parents own it. I just work there and I help manage it. I have so much money. And he's like gloating how much money he has. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then he's like, I have a really nice truck. And I'm like, again, don't give a fuck about the truck. And so he's like, fuck it. The Uber's taking too long. I'm coming. And now I'm like, bro, this guy is like drunk driving to get here, which... And now everyone in the comments is probably like, okay, so why didn't you say no and not go? You know what? One thing about me is I see it out.
Listen. It's entertainment, man. You gotta watch it through.
I do it for the plot. Right. I do it for the plot.
If you're that dumb, I want to see how dumb you can really be.
I want to see like how this is really going to turn out. Like, is this guy really going to be this stupid? So I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting here, and I've already been at the hotel for like half an hour already. It was way closer to my house than I thought it was, because it was like a few towns over. But I thought it would. I think it was like Lake Zurich, so I thought it was going to take me like an hour, and it only took me like 25 minutes. So I'm there, and I see like the truck pull up, and I knew it was his truck because it was like big and lifted and like lights on it, the whole nine.
Compensating for something.
Oh, it was for sure. and so I'm like thinking, in all his pictures, he looked really tall. So I'm like, oh yeah. He hopped out of this truck, and he had to do like a dismount, like a full blown like he had to like catch himself because he jumped out of this truck, and I'm like, is that him? And so I'm like, oh no.
He's like 4'2", he makes squeaky noises when he runs up to you.
And so then I think he's like gonna meet me, and we're gonna walk inside together. He's like, I'll get the hotel room and you just come up. So now I feel like a prostitute, and I'm like, nice. Okay, great. So whatever, I go in there, and she's like, oh, like, are you checking in? And I'm like, and I have to look at this woman and go, he already got a room. And then she's like, and I'm like, shut up, bitch. Right. Like, you're working.
Don't judge me.
Yeah, you're working near the third shift at a hotel.
This is the first time you've seen this.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
I'm like, get out of here, lady. So I go to the bathroom, and I'm like, whatever. I'm like in the bathroom. I'm like, okay, he's not that cute. I'm kind of nervous. Like, I thought he was much cuter in his pictures. So I'm like, oh God, it's going to be terrible. So I walk in, and he opens the door. We're eye level. Okay. And I'm 5'2", and we're eye level. And I'm like, like, you can just see the horror in my eyes. Like, oh fuck. And so he goes, and he, in the most Muppet voice ever, he's like, hey. And I'm like,
no.
He sounded like he for real was like about to like sing like the rainbow song that Kermit does.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God,
oh
I'm crying.
hell no. So I was just like, what am I gonna do? So I'm like, I gotta see it through. I'm already here. I gotta see it through. And so I walk in. He's like getting naked. I swear to God, I walked in. He's like getting naked, and I'm like, okay, so no hi, how are you?
Right.
Just like
right to business.
Right to business.
Is this what you do in the Lollipop Guild?
Yeah,
you know what
right.
I mean?
In Candyland, this is how you deal with Mr. Gloppy. Like, this is what you do. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, whatever,
Here we go.
Yeah. So I'm like getting naked, and he's on the bed, and the way he like scooches back, I'm like, that's kind of weird. I look down.
It's a shit stick. Come on. No way. Come on. No way. No way.
I had tears in my eyes. It was like, and I knew it wasn't mine because his was like orange. And I'm like, my shit does not look like that.
You're like, we're done.
No, I didn't. I just kept going. I just was like, I didn't know what to say. So I was like, hey. He left all my friends call him Shit Streak. He literally left. It looked like the Nile River, bro. It was so big. And I'm literally like, oh my God. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, like, it literally, the horror just like filled my fucking face. And I just was like, oh my God. So whatever, we had like hooked up. Which people are like, you kept going. And I'm like, well, I didn't know what to say. So I just kept going. Yep. So afterward, I get a phone call. And I have like different ringtones for like special people in my phone. So like my mom and dad. So like I know like if I'm anticipating a call, if it's one of them, like, oh, okay, it's my parents. So I hear the of my dad's ringtone. And I go, I forgot to turn off my location.
Oh, no.
And so he calls and he goes, why are you at the Hampton Inn? And I go, and I lie, and I say, I'm like, oh, well, Bree's mom was super proud we're going back to school, so she got us a hotel room for the night, because the next day was my first day at McHenry County College. And so I was like, yeah, Bree's mom just, like, treated us. And he goes, you fucking liar. And I go, he goes, what's his name? And I go, no.
That's a good dad right there.
I know, and I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at the guy, and he's like, oh, we're done here. And I'm like, what? I'm like, that turned it off for you? I dealt with your shit streak.
Right.
That's the cutoff?
Yeah.
And so he packs up his stuff. He's like, you can have the room for the night. He's like, I won't come back. Like, you can have the room for the
Do
night.
you want to take these sheets with you?
Yeah, I'm like, can you bring these down to that bitch at the desk and tell her to get to washing? And so I'm like, okay. So he leaves. He leaves me both the keys, and he's like, all right, it was nice to meet you. Like, bye. And I'm like, okay.
Wow.
I call my friend. I'm like, girl, there's a hot tub, there's a pool, and we got breakfast in the morning. You coming? She's like, I'll be there.
Nice.
And she came. And we had McDonald's that night, laughed. We slept on the 2 little queen beds, took the sheet off the bed,
Yep.
and then, and that was it. And then we drove to school the next morning.
There you go.
And then we started biology class.
So Dad knew that no matter what.
Oh, yeah. He
if
pieced
he
it
did,
together.
he does now.
He does now, but like he pieced it together. I think I actually told him the shit streak story because I was like, there's no way I can't. I'm like, just pretend it's not coming from me, but I need to tell you the story. But yeah, it was something.
Wow, man, that's crazy.
When people think about their dating life, I hope they refer back to these videos and go, I guess my dating luck isn't that bad.
Yeah.
I think that's what people are going to think by this show. If they learn anything from the show, it's wow, Kelsey's dating life is fucking horrific.
Yeah.
Like the things that happen, I'm like, people make movies about this. Like there are documentaries about what happens on dates. And I swear to God, these things have happened to me. Like, I just don't get it. Like, you know, like when people say like you give out the energy, what energy am I giving off that it's like, give me creepy, give me crazy, give me losers. Like, why? I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. I could tell you this, in my past before marriage, it was, and I'm still friends with most of my exes.
Yeah.
And they're just good friends,
Right. It just wasn't your time.
We went through a scenario and then it was like, I moved somewhere or something happened where I was like, hey, listen, it's not going to work out long distance. It's just
right.
not, but then moved back. They end up having their own families. I'm friends with their husbands. There's no weirdness.
Right.
And so the horror stories were more high school for me. It was more, like I was the pity date to prom
story.
And, and it was like, oh, okay. And then down the line, future, having a couple of successful businesses, I run into them at a nightclub or a bar, and they're like, "Oh, hey, now all of a sudden I'm interesting, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, go fuck yourself."
I know.
I don't have time for that.
It's ridiculous. Like when I was in high school, I think I've talked about this in the Valentine's Day episode, but like, I feel like right now in like the dating world, like dating a heavier person is like more seen a little bit now. But when I was in high school and middle school, it was like, no, don't talk to like the fat girl. Like I had guy friends. I had guys that were like willing to like fight a cocaine bear for me. But no way would they be caught like kissing me, doing anything like whatever. And most of my horror stories happened like the year I left high school. And like that's when like guys from my high school would hit me up. And they're like, oh, like I always had a crush on you, or I always like wanted to like get with you. And I'm like, okay, but you didn't.
Right.
Like you knew I was single.
Right.
Like, and you were single for a time. And if you always wanted to date me or you always thought I was interesting, why the fuck didn't you say something?
That's because they painted a certain picture in their head of who they thought they were.
Yeah.
I think they call it now. They think that they're all glowed up.
Yeah.
Right? And then they have a certain type in their mind. And they just watch way too much porn, and they think every chick is a porn star.
Yeah, and then it's literally like, I don't know. They think that like they're like holding out for Margot Robbie. Let me tell you something, buddy. You are not pulling Margot Robbie. I promise you.
Right.
Like, and it's just like, I don't know. It was just one of those things. Like once I left high school, I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna hook up with someone, and then it just like kept like the dating would be like, okay, so I think we're on a date, and then they like start making out with me and I'm like, oh no, like that's not what I meant. Like, I just wanted to go to dinner, but then they're like, oh, I bought you dinner, so now like pull down your pants. There's an
expectation.
Yeah, right? And it's like, that's not how that works.
Right.
But, and Shit Streak texts me like every couple months, all the time. And he's like,
just looking for that booty call, man.
Every time he'll like unadd me even when I don't answer, he'll get mad. And then he like re-adds me and is like, hey, like, you want to go get dinner and like go to a hotel? I'm like, no. I'm like, no, I don't. And like, he is loaded, like loaded rich. Like I think he just bought like, or he was like test driving like a Lamborghini or something.
Oh, he's one of those guys.
Yeah, he's got like money, but like he got a really bad haircut, and it's not looking good for him. Like that hairline is.
Oh, like, it's back there, huh?
And it wasn't before, so I'm like, okay, and I just can't.
I almost want you to throw his name on.
Name drop.
I almost want you to name drop it.
His name is Chase, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know his last name, but his name is Chase.
Okay.
You know what? After
he's so important, you don't know his fucking last name.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? I just know him as Shit Streak. But that's all I know him as.
Loaded Shit Streak.
You know what? After this episode, if I have a picture, I'll show you. Because I think I have one. But he, like, I just don't. Like, he just always tries, you know? And if there's one thing, here's another thing I hate. Haven't been a slay yet, but here's all the things I hate. I hate it when guys come like crawling back. Because let me tell you something. I have never, ever talked to a guy that never came back. Like, I've never talked to a guy that just flat out, nothing again.
Yeah.
Every time I talk to a guy, they come back. Even if they leave you undelivered for 4 days, like, oh, baby, I'm so sorry. Or they unadd you, they re-add you years later. They ask your friends why I unadded them. Like, they always come back. So when girls are like, I'm so sad he left. Girl, first of all, move on. Find someone better. And second of all, he'll probably come back anyway. Especially if he sees you doing better with someone else.
Well, so, all right. So let me reel in a little bit of something that you mentioned before. Why do I attract
nut
these nut jobs?
Right.
And so the couple rules and regulations you should give yourself.
Yeah.
Really is if you go to dinner, listen, I'm old school. I would always pay for a meal and never expect anything out of it. But nowadays, you just don't even know who you're running into because dating is all on an app. So then now you got Dahmer, right? Coming over.
Deadass.
So what you want to do is go down the middle. There's no expectation.
That's so true.
Just pay for yourself. Be like, hey, listen, we're just getting to know each other.
Yeah.
And don't give it up right away.
No, seriously.
Learn who I am as a person, right? And then as we grow together, then we know that this is either going to work or it's not going to work.
Yeah.
But if you're in it and you're like, hey, I need a booty call too, then that's a different story.
Right. It's like a shared, like, it's like you lay out your expectations from the beginning, then there's no, like, what ifs. You know what I mean?
And I think you're really never going to find that person you want to spend a long time with on an app.
I don't think so either.
I think that's the person that you meet in the store, grocery store.
Yeah.
So not at a bar, not where you can get intoxicated. It's going to be where it kind of makes sense, where you find that synergy that you both have a similar, maybe like you find something funny and hey, how's it going? Oh yeah. Oh, what are you buying? Ground beef? What are you making? Meatloaf? Whatever. Something silly, right? It's just
like that banter.
Next thing you know, you guys become friends and then that works into something else. So I always put that bar out there. And that's why I was always friends. I think even after the fact, it wasn't never really a harsh leave.
Right. It just wasn't the right thing.
Otherwise, you're going to go on those apps. You're going to find something that's going to look good, right? Yeah. And listen, just like a resume, everybody can shoot laser beams in their eyes. Because you're putting your best
foot forward.
Right.
Why would I say all the like shitty things I don't like about myself or all my like bad qualities to someone on a dating app? You're putting your best foot forward.
100%.
You're showing people who you want to be or only the good side of you. And then you find out they're like a narcissist. And then like...
Well, 9 times out of 10, if you come across that one person that's holding the top of their jeans down with no shirt on and showing ripped abs, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be a douchebag.
Right. And it's like, I'm swiping left. I'm screenshotting, but I'm swiping.
Right. That'll be for later. When the
like
spin cycle turns on.
Right. I'm like screenshotting, showing my friend, like, isn't this guy sexy? Left. Because like, I know what I'm getting into. Right. Like, I'm not stupid. Like, I know. Like, the other day, I was talking to this new guy. Because like, the guy I have a little crush on, we just, whatever, we hang out. But I was talking to a new guy because I was like, you know what? I'm going to get back out there a little. And I don't know why I decided Facebook dating was the place for me. Because I don't know if I've told stories about Facebook dating, but oh boy, those are the crackpots. Those are the crackpots.
It's like going on Craigslist.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's what my friend says.
You know.
My friend's like, oh, do you just post an ad and you're like, hey, it's single, chubby, waiting, like, you know, whatever. But I go on it because you can see who likes you. And it's not like a premium feature. Because you know on Tinder you need like Tinder Gold or like Hinge like Unlimited or like whatever the fuck it is to see who likes you first before you swipe. Well, Facebook dating shows you who likes you. So I was like looking through and I see this guy and he has like blonde fluffy hair and like blue eyes and that's like my shit. So I was like, okay. So we start messing each other.
That was also Hitler's shit.
All right.
So I'm just going to throw that out.
I love the blondies and all my friends are like, ew, I hate blonde guys. I'm like, great. Put them my way. Like, so I was like texting him or whatever. And I'm like, hey, like, you're really cute. Like, I'd love to like Snapchat and get to know you or whatever. He's like, hey, I think you're super cute too. Like, I would love to. Whatever. We start Snapchatting. A few days go by and he's like, I don't know, we don't Snapchat that often, but it's just kind of like, hey, like, what are you doing? What are you up to? What do you like to do in your free time? Like, that kind of thing.
Okay.
What's your favorite color bullshit, you know? So we're like Snapchatting and then he posts something on his story. And it says, she's pretty like a sunset. And I'm like, and we were only talking for like 2 days. So I'm like, this can't be about me, right? And I'm like, if it is about me, this guy's a whack job because we just started talking. And if it's not about me, who the fuck pretty like the sunset?
Right.
So I click over, next one. Tell me why it's a picture of him and a girl. Are you for real? And he was in her passenger seat. So I'm like, okay, so you broke and you lied to me. Like, because obviously he doesn't have a car, right? Like, why are you riding in this girl's passenger seat? Like, I mean, I guess that's not like true. Like, guys can be passenger, but like 90% of the time, if you're a grown man, if you're in your 20s and you're riding passenger, you either don't have a license, you can't drive because you got a DUI, or you don't have a car. Right. And it's literally this girl who's like, kind of looks like me. Like, she had like long brown hair and she was like kind of chubby, and he's
like, got a type.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So then I was like, okay. And then he literally takes a picture of her and was like, oh, with like kissy faces. And I'm like, so I unadded his ass. And then he tried to tell me, oh, I'm really shy. No, you lie, sir. You're a liar.
And he's dumb because
I know.
I mean, how you're on Facebook where everybody's seeing this stuff.
I think that the dating profile is different than your Facebook profile.
Oh, okay.
It's like not connected. So I added him on Snapchat. Okay. And I saw this on Snapchat. I was like, oh.
But even if, wouldn't you like, I mean, listen, I'm not in the dating world, but if I want to get to know somebody, the first thing I do is get their name. I look them up on Facebook, see what they're up to.
No, exactly.
Are they crazy? You know, whatever, right? So if you find them, aren't you looking up their normal profile anyway? And then all of a sudden you see all this other stuff. He's not hiding it very.
Yeah, typically. He really isn't. Because it's like, it's one thing to put it on like a private story. Like, okay, so why didn't he put it on a private? Like, I literally am seeing this being like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I did not have the energy to like message him and be like, okay, thanks. Like, you're talking to someone. Like, who is that? Right. Like, because I'm like, it doesn't even matter. And he was from like Missouri.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I doing talking to a guy from Missouri?
Who's driving from Missouri, right?
Nobody.
Right.
Like, I had an internet boyfriend a few years ago who lived in Pennsylvania. Oh, wow. He was a crackpot. He was like telling me he was in love with me like the third day we were like talking on the phone. Wow. And I was like, and my dumb ass was like, oh, really? When that should be like, like,
warning.
Fucking, yeah, like, dumbass, like, what are you doing? And I'm like, really? I'm like, do you really think so? And like, so then we start like talking or whatever, me and this guy. And we're on the phone, and then one day he asked me to be his girlfriend, and he had said something about his dog, which I didn't remember he had a dog. So I was like, oh, a pit bull, right? Well, apparently the guy I was talking to before had a pit bull. So he was like, who the fuck has a pit bull? And I'm like, you do. And he's like, I don't. And I'm like, So the first day we started dating, he's like screaming at me on the phone. And he was like, he's like, I don't have a fucking pit bull. And he's like, I can't believe you don't even remember my dog. Should we even be dating? And I'm like, I don't know. And I'm like in my friend's bathroom, like literally fucking crying on the phone to this psychopath. And then we kept dating for like 2 months. We were like internet dating for 2 months. All we would do is FaceTime. We would play like fucking the Switch together, and that was it. That was it.
Well, hey, at least it's safe.
It was, yeah, I mean, true. And then he was talking about like literally, and this is how I knew he was like really whacked, because the first like week or two we were dating, he's like, well, I want to come visit you. And I was like, okay, like we can like figure that out sometime. And he's like, okay, but I like don't want to leave when I come out there. And I'm like, what?
What?
Like he wanted to move in.
Oh.
He's like, I want us to like get a place, have a baby, get married.
Oh.
And I'm like,
sure.
I'm like, girl, I'm like, that is not happening. I was like, And I told my friends about him, and they were like, as soon as we broke up and I broke up with him, they were like, okay, so now we can ask you, what the fuck were you doing? They all hated him. And I knew they hated him, but I don't think that they like necessarily had the heart to tell me that. Cause like I don't have boyfriends very often. I talk to guys a lot, and I like go on dates. I like, I can like hook up with someone if I want to, like whatever. But it's like I don't necessarily have like, this is my boyfriend. Like the commitment of it, and like, this is my friends, this is my boyfriend, whatever. So I think that they just like didn't have the heart to.
Well, that's nice. That's nice of them, but that's listen, real friends.
They also told me, they were like, I don't think this is gonna work out, and I'm like, you just don't know him,
right?
Yeah, and I was like, you just don't get it. And then they were like, yeah, I'm sure,
but I like him.
And to be honest, I didn't really like him that much.
No.
This is terrible, but I honestly think I was like bored. And I was like, well, what are you going to do?
Wow. Well, at least you're filling up some time with podcasting now.
Right. I honestly,
life, actually.
Right. You know what? If I keep myself busy with podcasting and school and work, I just won't have time for these completely out of the whack people. Yeah. My dad is just hoping I bring home like a doctor so bad. He's like, can you ever like, because I normally like white thugs, or like guys who like are losers. Like I don't know what it is about like the skater boy aesthetic. Ooh. I die for it. Like literally like foaming at the mouth like a raccoon. I like literally love that shit. And my dad is like, can you ever bring home like a lawyer, a doctor? Like, does it have to be these like out of job, like terrible
I like your dad.
people?
I don't even know the man.
I think you guys would get along so well.
So listen, Dad, we're just gonna throw this out there now. If you're a doctor or you're a lawyer and you want to meet Kelsey, info at 216 the net. Yeah, right. Info at 216 the net. Throw down lawyer, doctor, who you are, what you do, and maybe we'll get you on the show, and let's see if we can make a match.
You know what's so funny? This guy, okay, another guy story, but this guy like added me on Snapchat. His friend was like, hey, my friend thinks you're cute, like he wants to add you. And I was like, okay. He adds me. All right. He serenades me, sends me a song, and I wanted to play the song on the podcast, but he fucking blocked me, so I don't have it anymore. But he was like, Kelsey, in the end, will you be my girlfriend? And he's like rapping. I literally, girl, I was like crying, laughing. I was like, this is not real. He wanted to come on the podcast. And I was this close to letting him. Like, first time out the gate meeting him, being like, okay, guys, this is what's his face. And just like almost like a fake first date on the podcast. How fucking funny would that have been? But he blocked me because I told him I didn't want to be his girlfriend.
Well, yeah, that's all right. We don't want him here.
No, but that would have been so funny. Yeah. Like, that would have been like content.
That would have been a great show.
That would have been a fantastic show. If he's out there. I will not be your girlfriend, but
speaking of great shows, if you like what you see on the show here, feel free to go over to the old YouTube.
Yes.
Click on 216 the net or 216 Creator Studios. Go to our live tab. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe, ding that bell, and you'll get notifications on other great quality shows that we have here at the studio.
Yes, and I'm learning how to produce. So
yes, she's been in the producer's chair.
So that is super fun too. So I'm kind of like featured in the grounds last episode.
Yeah, you are.
My voices. I'm kind of there. So check that out.
Too. You're the person behind you. You are me in that scenario.
Right. Exactly.
Behind the mic. Behind the curtain.
But,
that's awesome.
Things that I want to talk about that are a sleigh. Ranch dressing. Okay. I love ranch dressing.
What makes ranch better than anything else?
Okay, so I hate Hidden Valley. Hidden Valley bottled ranch is not fucking ranch.
So it's got to be a brand. So what does Hidden Valley do differently?
Hidden Valley, it just tastes like ass. Like it's the devil's bathwater.
Interesting how you can compare that.
Yeah. Right?
Okay.
Exactly. But something about homemade like restaurant ranch.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Ooh, like it literally gets my blood fucking going. Like I love ranch dressing. I don't care. I love it. In school, it was like a personality trait that everyone knows. I love ranch dressing. It came up the other day with a friend of mine that works at my work, but we went to high school together. She's like, "Oh, Kelsey loves ranch." I'm like, I do love ranch, but it's just like what I hate, blue cheese. That's a no from me. Why does it taste like mold? Tastes like dick cheese.
Well, it's aged cheese.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I'm a blue cheese person.
Really? Yeah. I'm sorry. I like aged cheese, but almost when it's like crunchy. Like an aged cheddar.
Oh yeah.
And it has that like smoky kind of flavor. Yep. Oh, I fuck with that. Sleigh cheese.
When you do ranch, what's your go-to to dip in the ranch?
Anything, honestly. I'm like terrible, and I'll dip like pizza and that shit. I'll even do like a chip, like a full blown just like Lay's chip, like
nice.
But honestly, probably buffalo wings.
Okay.
Hooters buffalo wings slay. Have you ever had their like extra wet hot wings?
Yeah, they're good.
They are good. I just feel like something that doesn't sit right with me is these like Barbie models bringing it to me, and I'm like I'm like sitting here like bib on, like hair in a high bun, face.
You're there on a mission.
I'm there on a mission. I'm there on a crucial mission. They're just bringing the source.
That's right.
Right. They're just go get my wings, bitch. I gotta get this done.
I don't care what you look like in that outfit.
I know.
Yeah. Listen, Toothpick, bring me some more fucking ranch.
2 ranches, please.
That's
extra wet wings.
That's right. Extra wet.
I'm like, do you write that down? Extra wet, extra sauce.
Once again, for any lawyer or doctor out there that likes ranch and extra wet wings.
Hit me up. I'm your woman.
We already know the comparison of why blue cheese tastes like ass. So, hey, listen, this could be a winner chicken dinner for you.
This could be.
216 the net. Info at 216 the net.
I had I went to a Hooters once like years ago, and the guy there was like, "You should wear gear," and I was like, fuck you. And I'm like, and the guy was like, he was like kind of bigger, and he was cute, and he was like, no, I'm like serious. He's like, we need more like diversity. Like, do you want a job here? And I'm like, first of all, when they start making plus size Hooter girls, I'll be there. Yeah. But I am not gonna be the plus size Hooter girl with all these other bitches. Like, that's not fucking happening. And it was like in Indiana. There was like, it was off a highway. There's just this huge Hooters, like in the middle of the dunes. And I'm like, where the fuck? And they had the best shit though.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, if there's restaurants out there that where not everybody is pretty and skinny, their food's gonna rock.
Oh, I know.
You know what I mean?
And
never
it's
trust a skinny chef.
I was just about to say that. Like if like one of my like really thin friends is like, oh, like this is good, tastes like green shit and grass.
Yeah.
If one of my chunky friends is like, let's go get fucking like Momo something whatever, like Japanese like beef skewers, I'm fucking.
Oh yeah, for sure, I'm down with that.
Yeah, especially a food truck. That's another sleigh. A food truck.
Yeah, good food truck.
Oh yeah.
I never had not the Roach Coach. You know what a Roach Coach is?
No.
So it's a food truck that has like a heated element in the truck to where they get out of the truck and they open up these slots and everything is like under the heat lamp, basically.
Ooh.
And they used to go for like labor job sites and stuff like that, and it would be a big sell. They would stop at all these restaurants in different places and load up. And that's how they would do it. Now, actual food truck where they're making stuff fresh right out of that truck, that's the bomb.
That's where you want to be.
Absolutely.
I just had sticks and noodles.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, they're pretty good. The beef skewers, ooh,
that meat's so good. I'm almost starting to wonder if it's really beef. Or chicken. Or whatever mystery it might be, because it's good.
It's too good. You know, like, it's like chewy.
You know what long pig is?
No.
Long pig is human. So, I mean, listen, either way, I will eat the shit out of some sticks and noodles.
Oh, I will too. You know which one I really want to try? The pierogi rig. Pierogi rig, if you want to sponsor this show, call us, 216 the net.
That's right. Looking for some sponsors.
No, literally, I love pierogi so fucking much. Something about, like, the little, like, sauerkraut and, like, the little potato one. Ooh, that shit's so good.
Now, I got a family member out there. Big shout out to Johnny Lewis and his wife, Deb. They got Deb's Mobile Eats. They got their own food truck. He built that truck like from scratch out of a box truck, right?
Oh, damn.
And he's crushing it out there. Now, listen, being Italian, these guys, homemade meatball sandwiches.
Oh, homemade pasta. Are they around here?
They're out in the more of the Joliet area. But they do. I mean, listen, they got like distribution centers from Amazon where they go to, and I mean, they're doing really well, and their food is outstanding.
Oh, I bet.
Outstanding. He used to be the owner of Dollar Slice downtown Chicago, so it was like a dollar slice of pizza kind of thing, and their pizza was really good. But it was in such a bad neighborhood, like they were handing pizza under the little, like the slot where you would have bulletproof glass kind of thing.
Oh shit!
Yeah. I got some stories from him out of that. But I mean, the food truck business. I mean, listen, that's where it's at. When you're not busy, the only fixed cost you really have is insurance, because you're not paying electric, you're not paying gas, you're not paying for a spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you just got to make sure you're up on your sanitary license and that you get inspected, and then you find these great spots. And I mean, I've been thinking about it.
Really? What would you make in like the food truck? Would it be like Italian food?
Actually, I'm going for a little bit of a different twist, because coffee's where it's at right now. So I was gonna go gelato coffee, and make it really unique to that. And then in the mornings, I would probably do like homemade bagels and stuff like that. Kind of go with it, because the line goes around the door. It doesn't cost much to make it. Your profit margin's big.
Yeah.
The food trucks, as a chef, I can make anything. And I'm not afraid to, but staying outside of the hot dog realm, staying outside of the pizza, that's you know,
we've seen it.
You gotta be a little bit different, you know. I would even do homemade soups, man. I would do especially on a chillier day. You get a soup, get a cup of coffee, get whatever, right?
Yeah,
that kind of come out of there. But
I thought of a fantastic name for your food truck.
What is it?
The Frosty Cappuccino.
Ooh, I like that.
Because it's like the gelato little
coffee. I love that.
And people call you Cappuccino, right?
Oh, yeah. That's my nickname. Nobody can pronounce my name, and I'm a coffee fanatic. So
really?
Oh, yeah, I'm a coffee
What's like your coffee order?
Regular coffee is good. Just normal
just
regular
like black coffee.
You know, I'm a little bit of a creamer whore. I like my vanilla creamers and stuff, but you know, recently there's a place out here called Summer Moon. They're my absolute favorite.
Another sleigh, Summer Moon.
Shout out to Emily and her husband.
Yes,
friends with them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're gonna probably sponsor a show. We're gonna have them on one of our shows called Let's Talk Local here in the community.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they have a coffee there called the Blue Moon, which is like a lavender flavored coffee. And then if you've never had an espresso milkshake, you're missing out, because my daughter, that is her go-to from there. And I tried it once and I'm like, I can't ever drink this again because I will be addicted. It's so
I've never tried their Blue Moon, but the one, I always love their seasonal ones.
Yep.
The one they had for February, where it was like the chocolate covered strawberry.
Yep.
And they're like their blueberry coffee in the summer. I love their blueberry coffee.
So 2 things you got to try from there. One is the espresso milkshake.
Yes.
Because it'll blow your mind. The Blue Moon is also good too. And then the Nitro Moon, hot Nitro Moon. And it's so smoky. It's like steamy, smoky. I can't put my words on it.
Like real strong.
Yeah, but it's a little strong, but it's just got the perfect amount of like a sweetness with the what they call a moon milk, right?
Yes,
and it's like a sweet cream kind of thing. And it's super good. I actually looked at trying to buy into the franchise.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love their stuff. I always get their stickers, and I put them on my water bottle.
I got a couple shirts from her, a couple cups,
Yeah,
and
there was
and they're good people, man.
I love them
awesome.
there.
Their workers are really good. I mean, listen, you want a job there? I'll probably talk to Emily.
I was just about to say I applied there once.
Did you?
Well, I don't know if I applied, but I asked a girl that worked there. I was like, "Are you guys hiring?" She's like, "I don't know, but you can text my manager."
Oh, okay. You're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
You need to go in there. You need to talk to Emily, and she's the owner, and her husband, and just be like, "Hey, listen, I talked to Drew over at 21 Sixth Grader Studios.
Yeah.
I love your coffee. I would love to get a job here if you have it open." And
yeah, I'm
so where she's gonna say is no, right?
Yeah, I'm so scared to work in a coffee shop because I feel like I couldn't handle the pressure. You know what I mean? Like the rushes and then making the coffee. I feel like I'd fuck up all the time.
Working in a kitchen's not much different. Done that, you work expedited line, and the pressure gets you. But once you know what you're doing, your job. Yeah, you'll blink your eyes twice and your shift is over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
and you
true.
had a good time doing it.
And they're not open very late, which I like.
No, they're not. They're open early though. And they just have good product, man. Good customer service, good product.
I love it there.
If you're in the area or if you're near a Summer Moon, it's a franchise.
Yeah, y'all gotta go. Y'all get on Summer Moon.
No,
I say it all the time.
My daughter's 16th birthday, I took her to Woodfield.
Best mall ever.
And that was an expensive day.
Oh, yeah.
But we came across this place that sells gelato. And we walked by their sign, and it was they had these coffees. And I was like, it's a real Italian joint, right? Mm. And I went up to the guy who even had an accent, for crying out loud. And I was like, okay, this is a real deal. So I said, you want to try this? And my daughter was like, yeah, let's do it. So she ordered something. Obviously, 2 drinks cost me $20.
Yeah.
But he's like, yeah, no, what we do is we do blended with whatever flavor gelato you want. And I was like, oh, okay. So she's like, can I try the tiramisu? So what he did was he got the little wooden spoons and he gave us a sample of all the gelatos. And let me tell you something. Money. Every single one of them was phenomenal. So I ended up with a white cream, pistachio, espresso.
Oh, I gotta be there.
They make their own whipped cream.
Shut up.
And then they put a crunch on top of that. Dude, it's just blow your mind. Really good.
It's pricey. In the mall?
Yeah, it's in the mall. Armando's or something like that.
Oh, I gotta try that.
So I was like, I guess this is my new go-to anytime I dread going to the mall these days. I'm 50 years old.
That's what my dad says.
I fucking hate the mall. Right?
Yeah. I love Woodfield.
It costs me a lot of money. It's a lot of walking, and I get enough of people where I'm like, all right, enough. I can't handle it. But if you go during a weekday, I own a studio.
Not bad
so it's I can go whenever I want. It's not busy. So I was able to take her. I pulled her from school. I took her out to the mall. And we got some good coffees, and she got my daughter's grunge. And she's like, hey, let's hit Spencer's. I'd like to find a couple new shirts, and she's inspired by her artwork. She draws a lot of really cool stuff. She's got her own t-shirt line coming out called Anxious Memories. And some of her best artwork is when she's going through anxiety. So some of it's half finished or not finished, but that's what we print. So that's
amazing. Yeah. I'll have to check that out. That's awesome.
So we did all that, and then we had a lot of fun. It was a good time. It was a good time.
I love Woodfield Mall. I was born in Schaumburg.
Oh, yeah. I lived in Schaumburg for a long time.
Yeah, we lived there when I was younger, and so we would go to that mall. I could read that mall the back of my hand. But then they moved everything around. My favorite store, one of my favorite stores, Urban Outfitters there, they moved it to a smaller location on the other side of the mall.
Well, so I got some age on you. So back in the day I'm a Conant graduate. Okay. Yeah. So back in the day when I was in high school or even when I went to Meade, we'd go to the mall and it was you had the water fountain. That's not there anymore. Right. Merry-Go-Round was the store everybody went to buy IOU sweatshirts and Cavariccis. I mean, I'm aging myself here. I know.
I'm bad. Like, what's that?
Right. What are those? If I said MacGyver, like, who's that? Okay. Yeah. But, it's changed so much. But what's really nice to see is it's still thriving. And malls aren't a thing like they used to be. Right. Even Spring Hill over here closed.
Did
gone.
It?
Oh, yeah. They're gone.
Okay, that needed to close, though.
Yeah.
Well, at the last of its leg, it was like, ooh.
COVID hit. All the stores, they couldn't maintain. And they're building, I want to say it's going to be a concert venue.
Oh, shit.
Yep. Really? So we're going to leave the theaters open, but it's a 2-3 year project building a concert venue. Yeah. The city bought it.
Speaking of, Luke Hemmings from 5 Seconds Summer is going on a solo tour. I will be there. Don't you worry, I'll be there.
Now, is that you got a concert coming up, yeah?
I got another concert. One Direction. I'm seeing, obviously not One Direction, I wish, but right. I'm seeing Niall Horan from One Direction in July. And then, Luke Hemmings is coming in June. And me and my dad are going to go. And we thought he was only going to the East Coast. So my dad's like, we'll book a flight to New York. Like, my dad knows how much this man means to me. So he's like, and it's our thing. So he's like, fuck it, we'll go to New York. But he's coming to Chicago. And so we're going to that in June. And then me and one of my friends are going to Niall Horan in July.
That's awesome. That sounds like
I'm so hyped. And then All Time Low is coming on tour. Do you know All Time Low?
No,
it's like pop punk.
Okay.
Like type alternative pop punk. And me and one of my best friends, Quinn, love All Time Low. And they're coming on an All Time Low Forever tour. So we're going to try and go to that in Milwaukee. But,
yeah, it sounds like you got a pretty decent summer kind of planned.
Yeah, and my birthday's in the summer, and I take my birthday very seriously.
Okay.
Like, right. I like literally when people ask me what's your favorite holiday, I'm like, my birthday. And my friends always laugh like, that's not a fucking holiday. I'm like, it is a holiday. Birthdays are holidays. Like, I take it so seriously. I have like a birth month. Like, I'm one of those people.
You're one of those.
Like, July 1st hits, and I'm like, we got 30 more days, people.
Yeah. We're ramping up for the birthday, so we start drinking now.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Every day there's a gift.
Right, exactly.
Even with my daughter's birthday, I'm like, she's like, can we do a cake another day? I'm like, yeah, sure. I guess ish.
You're like, okay.
How long is this birthday gonna last?
Right. I love another sleigh. Have you seen those vintage heart cakes? They're like, it's like a big heart and it's like stacked and they like do like vintage piping on it. And like in the middle it says something in cursive. I love those cakes.
That's cool.
Those cakes are so cute.
Where do you buy one of those?
I don't know. Like, I see them online for TikTok and, like, small bakeries do them. But I bet Riverside could do it. Okay. Riverside or, like, I don't know. Maybe, like...
Riverside's out in McHenry?
Yeah. Riverside Bakery. It's on... it's by Green Street. It's on, like, Main Street or something. It's downtown.
Yeah, that's right next to, the pet store next to it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, Reese's.
Yeah, that's Scott.
Oh, he owns that?
He owns that, yeah.
Oh, my God. I didn't know that. Yeah, right there. And then I bet that, where's that other bakery? Love and Oven, maybe? In, like, Antioch. I bet they would do it.
Nice. Do you remember, since you lived in Schaumburg, in Elk Grove, there's a place called Jerosha's?
Yes.
Do you remember Jerosha's?
I think that bakery, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's still open, right?
Oh, yeah.
Me and my mom went there for, not Punchki Day, another day. That they like were really busy.
They're really busy. People come from out of state to go.
There's not much around there, right? It's just that bakery. Well, so it's like in a strip mall.
Yeah, the bowling alley was there, and then so the person, they tore all that stuff down.
Yeah.
And the only place that still was running is the bakery, because even the mayor was like, he's like, I'm not looking to get murdered.
Yeah.
That's got to stay, and then after we do the new build, we move.
Yeah, I think I do remember that. But yeah, we went there. I think that was my grandma's favorite. We got her like a strawberry cake for her birthday or something.
Yeah, man, they do everything. Those cherry tarts and
oh yeah.
Good God.
Another sleigh, Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it, do I love the Cheesecake Factory. They have these things called Buffalo Blasts. Now let me tell you about a Buffalo Blast. It's almost like a wonton. It used to be like a wonton that they like kind of like a crab rangoon, but it was filled with buffalo chicken.
Ooh.
Now it's like a piece of like fried chicken, and inside is more buffalo chicken.
Really?
And ranch and cheese. Oh my god.
That sounds amazing.
And it's like $17 for an appetizer, but it's like this big. And
yeah, it'll fill you. It's a meal.
Right. Yeah. I get that. 3 sides of ranch. They give me like the little like, like the big like Aladdin lamp looking like a situation. And then I get my piece of cheesecake and then I'm on my way.
That sounds great.
I fucking love cheesecake. We went for my grandma's birthday and that was super fun. And she's like, I think she's like 85, 83. She's old.
Yeah.
I don't mean that mean, but like she's older, but she's with it completely. Like my grandma's like one of my best friends.
I have to ask my friend Wendy, the Pertola family. Her husband runs a cheesecake factory.
Shut up. The one in Lincolnshire?
I have no idea where he's at, but I worked with her here in Crystal Lake, and she's awesome. She became a family to me. What a great family, period.
Yeah.
But she talks about Cheesecake Factory quite a bit.
God, I love Cheesecake Factory. Yeah. It's the best ever.
But yeah, we should probably start.
I was gonna say, I'm like, man, we talked for a full hour.
It goes quick, don't it?
Yeah, right. Well, thank you guys for watching. This will be up on Monday, and then in the following week, we will have a guest on the show. So looking forward to that. Thank you for watching.
Until next time, folks. Drew Cappuccino here at 216 Creator Studios. Once again, if you like what you see, please go to our YouTube channel, 216 Creator Studios. Click on the old live tab for the most recent episodes. Like, share, subscribe, ding that bell, and we will see you next time.